So now it's 10:40. All right, now it's 10:40 in the morning. Okay, and then we try to finish the class until 11 or 11:30. Okay, right. Okay. All right. The latihan PT3, this is the exercise I gave you last week on Thursday. Okay, I will give you the answer later. Okay, you just answer the question only, and then make sure you send your finished exercise in our class Padlet. I don't know about the access on the Padlet. Do you have any problem accessing our class Padlet? Because maybe some of the problem, when I click using the handphone, when I click the Padlet address, it's kind of very slow loading. Takes a lot, maybe a longer time for the Padlet to load in. Do you have this kind of problem?
Yes.
Very slow loading, right? But never mind, never mind. Okay. It takes about a few minutes before the page will loading. I will try to find out what is the problem, because maybe the problem is the previous exercise. Okay, there are too many previous exercise in one page that prevent the Padlet loading, what we call loading fast. Okay, I will try to take a look into that matter later. Okay, our Padlet. Right. So never mind. If you already what we call answer the question, very good. You just answer the question. Just write the answer on our exercise book. Okay, no need to draw. No need to what we call write or copy the answer. Just write the answer only. Okay, if if you're able to print, it's better lah. But if you're unable to print, you just write the answer only. Okay, no need to draw, no need to copy the question. Okay, right. So today, so this is our last topic for Form 1. Okay, Teams number 1. Can you see my presentation? You can also later on uh, uh, refer to our textbook lah. Refer to our textbook also. Okay, Teams number 5 is the last teams in Science Form 1. All right, and then for the last teams in Form 1, Teams number 5, the title is Exploration of Earth and Space. Okay, Exploration of Earth and Space. And then for Form 1, for Teams number 5, there are only one chapter. That is Chapter 9. What is Chapter 9, class? We're going to learn about our own planet, our own home planet that we call Earth. Okay, this is we're going to learn what we call what is Earth, and then what are the characteristics of Earth. This is our home planet. Why we call it our home planet? Because this is the only planet that hold the what we call the living things, such as what, if you still remember what is the living things, include us as human, animal, and also plant. Okay, and then also consists of microorganism. Okay, that's why we call it home planet, right? So in order to understand more about our home planet, you need to know the what we call the characteristic, the information, and then the facts about the Earth. Okay, because we are living on it, and we are living on the Earth, right? Okay, so I directly jump into subtopic number 1, that is the system and the structure of the system and the structure of the Earth. Okay, number 1, system. Number 2, structure. Okay, we're going to learn the system and structure. Right. So, I just want to jump into the more important keywords only. Right. Number 1, this is the system of the Earth. You must remember, okay, there are 4 systems of Earth. Number 1 is hydrosphere, atmosphere, geosphere, and then biosphere. Okay, what is sphere, class? S-P-H-E-R-E. What is sphere? Number 1, yeah? Okay, try to just draw it a bit. Make sure you draw it. 9.1, system and structure. System and structure. How many system? 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 is what we call never mind. System first, system. The system of the Earth structure. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 is atmosphere. S-P-H-R-E. S-P-H-E-R-E. And then what else? Geosphere. Okay, number 3 is hydrosphere. And then the last one is what, class? Biosphere. S-P-H-R-E. S-P-H-R-E. S-P-H-I. What is sphere? Sphere. Okay, if you look at the Google, what is the sphere? This is sphere. Okay, this is the sphere. Sphere is what we call is one of the shape. Okay, sphere is one of the shape. All right. So sphere is like this, just a shape. This is the shape of sphere. Okay, and then first, atmos. Atmos, you just remember what? Atmos, you just remember the air around us. Geo mean maybe the soil, and then the what we call the layer of the earth, the layer inside the earth. This is the soil. Okay, hydro very easy. Hydro mean what, class? Hydro mean water. And then bio mean what? Living things. Okay, this is what we call by the system on the earth. You just remember this: atmosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Why we call it sphere? Because sphere is one of the shape. For example, living thing. All the living thing live in the system that we call the biosphere. All the living thing inside the sphere, inside the sphere. Okay, because the Earth's shape is also sphere. Although it is not a perfect sphere, the shape of the Earth also in the form of sphere. So this is what we call by the system of the Earth. Can you understand me, class?
Yes.
Okay. The rest of the article, okay, you can read it for yourself. Okay, I just need you to understand later on when somebody asks you or when you look at the question, what are the system of Earth? You must remember these 4 systems: hydro, atmos, geo, and biosphere. Okay, and then maybe you identify and understand is number 1. Before you memorize things, make sure you understand it first. Okay, The detailed explanation about the sphere you can read on the textbook later on. Is it okay, class?
Okay.
Okay, good. Next one. Okay, next one is what we call by atmospheric stratification. Stratification, we call it layer also, yeah, class, yeah. Stratification is just one of the what words that the same meaning, or the what we call the same meaning of stratification is just a layer. Okay, if you look at the system of the Earth later on, this one, system of the Earth, number one, atmosphere. And then atmos meaning that the Earth cover with air. Okay, so you put another one here. This is what we call the layer of atmosphere. The layer of atmosphere. Another another layer. Another layer of what we call atmosphere. So how many layers inside atmosphere? If you look at the picture over here, starting from the upper layer or down into the earth, either one, never mind. I start from the above here. Exosphere, 480 kilometer and above. Number 2 is thermosphere. Number 3, mesosphere. Number 4, stratosphere. Number 5 is troposphere. Okay, all right. How we want to differentiate between the atmospheric layer? Okay, we try to what we call different the layer by their altitude, by their altitude, meaning that the height of the layer. For example, I just zoom it a bit here. Troposphere is from 0 to 13 kilometer, above. The altitude meaning the height or the ketinggian dia, ya. So this is troposphere layer, 0 to 13 kilometer. Okay, and then you also need to understand what happened in this layer. For example, the troposphere layer, okay, where the living organism breathe, the wind blow, cloud, rain, and snow form. 0 to 13 kilometer. Okay, the height, and then what happened? You must remember, yeah. For example, there are 5, right? There are 5 layers. I try to use the black pen lah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Troposphere. Troposphere. 0 to 13 kilometer. Altitude, the height from the surface of the earth is 0 to 13 kilometer. And then what happened? Rain. We are what we call snow. And then the air that we breathe is in the troposphere layer. Okay, and then next one, after troposphere, we call it stratosphere. STRATOSPHERE, from 13 to 50 kilometer. Okay, stratosphere. All right, and then the next one, the details of this layer, you can read it for yourself. And then, okay, class, can I don't want to waste any time. If you have anything to ask later on, maybe you can ask me about the detail of the layer if you are not understand about the layer, right? Okay, next one is mesosphere, 50 to 80 kilometer in altitude. And then the last one is it the last one? No. The next one is thermosphere, and then the last one is exosphere. Okay, exosphere is 480 kilometer, and Above. Okay. Any problem with the layer, atmospheric layer?
No.
No, yeah. Okay. You just understand what we call the arrangement of the topic. That's all, the arrangement of the topic. First one, for example, here we have system. Okay, system 4: atmosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and then biosphere. And then one of the system we have, for example, atmosphere. We have the layer of atmosphere, starting from troposphere until exosphere. Okay, so next one is the all right. This is the picture, the relationship between the air pressure and the altitude. You still remember what is altitude? Altitude is the height. It's the height from the surface of the earth until about 400 kilometer up. Okay, but according to the picture over here, is the altitude between maybe between 0 to 50 kilometer. These are the altitude. Okay, until 50 kilometer, if I can draw here, if you still remember, between 0 to about 13 kilometer. This is what layer, class? You still remember? This is what we call it? I also forgot. From 0 to 13. What is the layer name? Atmospheric layer? I forgot lah. Yeah. What happened here? It is called troposphere. Okay. Troposphere, yeah. Sometimes I also forgot. It is called troposphere. Okay. T R O P O S P H E R E. And then the next layer, maybe from 13 to 50 kilometer, we call it stratosphere. Okay. So, what is the image want to tell you? All right. Want to tell you that as you go higher, how about the air pressure? The air pressure is increasing or decreasing? Oh, you got here. What happened? If you go higher, how about the air pressure up there? When you go higher, for example, the aeroplane from the 0 meter and then up until maybe 10 kilometer, up until 10 kilometer, what happened to the air pressure outside? Is it increase or decrease?
Increase.
The air pressure increase or decrease? Increase or decrease the air pressure?
Increase.
Decrease, class, decrease, Can you see the graph over here? Meaning that, for example, okay, air pressure. The graph is air pressure times altitude. Okay, for example here, if the height or the altitude is 5 kilometer, what is the air pressure? The air pressure is about, the air pressure is about this one. This is the air pressure. Okay, it is about 330,000 PA. Okay, and then what happened if we go up until 20 kilometer? 20 kilometer, and then the pressure become what? What is the pressure here? It is about maybe 10. It's about 10,000 PA. 10,000 PA. PA is the unit for air pressure. okay, if 20 kilometer in height, 10,000 PA. All right. But if this one, if about 5 kilometer here, 5 kilometer, the pressure is about 40, about 45,000 PA. Can you understand this? Can you understand the graph? Meaning that when you go higher, the air pressure is higher, increase or decrease? When you go higher, when your altitude increase, the air pressure
Decrease.
decrease. Decrease. You know, if you go 20 kilometer up, it 10,000 PA. Okay, 10,000 pressure lah. And then if you just increase the height, the altitude is just 5 kilometer, 45,000, about 45,000 lah PA. Okay, can you understand this? How about the temperature? How about the temperature? Okay, here, the higher the altitude, the lower the air pressure. And then how about the temperature? The temperature also become lower. Okay, the air pressure become lower, and then the temperature also become lower. Can you understand this, class? Can,
Can.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, good. The next one. So this is the next stratification or the layer. You must identify the ocean stratification. Okay, the ocean stratification. Right. So if you refer back to the system of the Earth, ocean stratification is included in what system? Is it atmos, hydro, geo, or biosphere? The ocean. Hydrosphere. Very good. Okay. So another one here. Hydrosphere. I put another line over here. This is what we call by the ocean, or we call it the layer lah, the layer of ocean. The layer of ocean. Okay, the layer or the stratification of the ocean consists of how many? There are 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 layers. 3 layers of the ocean from the hydrosphere. Okay, so what are the layer? Okay, we do not call it layer, we call it zone. Okay, we are divided by 3 zones: the surface zone, the midnight zone, and then the dark zone. Okay, just like the atmosphere, the characteristic or the determination of the zone is determined by their depth, by their what we call the distance. Okay, atmosphere based on the altitude from 0 to 13, from 0 and then up until 400 kilometer up to the atmosphere. Okay, but the ocean stratification of the layer of the ocean based on the depth in meter. Yeah. Okay, you can see here surface zone. Okay, we try to zoom it a bit. Okay, the first zone is what we call surface zone, and then you also try to remember. Okay, it is about 0 to all right. It is about 0. It is about 0 to 200 meter. So this is the surface zone. Depth, this is what we call the depth. D-E-P-T-H. The depth of the ocean. Okay. So the surface zone is about 0 to 200 meter. And then you can see there is what we call aquatic animal lah, such as whales, and then the fish here, and then plankton. All right. So this is the what we call the first zone, starting from 0 meter until 200 meter in depth. We call it surface zone. Okay, class. Next one, midnight zone. Midnight zone is about 200 meter to 1,500 meter deep in the ocean. Okay, where the what we call the sunlight barely what we call reach the midnight zone. Okay, and then dark zone. Why we call it dark zone? We call it dark zone because the sunlight cannot penetrate. What we call the sunlight. The sunlight cannot penetrate more. Okay, underwater, we call it dark zone. About from 1,500 meter to 10,000 meter deep under the ocean. All right. Do we have any aquatic life inside the dark zone? Yes, we have aquatic life. Later on, I will show you. I will try to show you here. Okay. Surface zone, the water is shallow, light can penetrate, suitable for plant and suitable for plant. Midnight zone, a little light, difficult for plant to live, but there is such a animal inside. Dark zone, very deep, no light. That's why we call it dark zone. Okay, most animal in this zone have shimmering bodies or able to glow in the dark. There is what we call aquatic life, but it's very rare lah. Okay. Ocean stratification, any problem?
No.
Okay, no problem. Ocean stratification, very good, nice. Okay, next one, this is the distribution of water on Earth. Distribution of water on Earth. You just look at the picture over here. This is what we call by water cycle. You still remember the state of matter? Okay, the state of matter from what? From solid become gas, and then gas become liquid, and then vice versa. And then you still remember the process. For example, what happened when the liquid become gas? What are the process? Liquid to gas. Which one? Condensation, evaporation, or what?
Evaporation.
Evaporation. You still remember, You still remember the process where the state of matter change from one state of matter to another. There are 3 states of matter, whether it is solid, liquid, or gas. You just remember the water cycle. So, where do you want to put the distribution of water? This title, we want to put where? Atmosphere, geosphere, or hydrosphere? Distribution of water, this one. Distribution of water. Which topic we want to put? Which system? Atmos, geo, or hydro, or bio?
Hydro.
Still in hydro, very good. Still in hydro. Okay, we're still in hydro topic. So, in hydro topic, layer of ocean, number 1, A, layer of ocean, and then B is what we call the distribution of water, or we call it water cycle. Water cycle. Water cycle. Why we call it cycle? Why we call it cycle? Because if you can see here, the water actually cannot be destroyed. Okay, what happened when the water been heat up? The water will become gas. And then what happened when the gas is being cooled down? The gas will become back to liquid. Okay. So this is what changes, class. Is it a physical changes or chemical changes, water? Who still remember? The changes, for example, liquid to gas. for example, from water in the form of liquid and then will become gas, will become water vapor. This is what we call physical changes or chemical changes. Who can remember? Who can tell me?
Physical.
Yes, very good. This is what we call by physical changes. Very good. Physical changes meaning that the water actually very hard to be destroyed. Okay, it just changed the state of matter, whether it's become liquid, whether it is become solid or become gas. All right. So you can see here very easy explanation, because there is an abundance of water in the earth. About 70% of earth cover with water. Is it true? 70% or 80%? 60%. Okay. If you look at the picture of the earth, if you look the picture of earth, okay, this is about the earth, right? This is the earth. Okay. You see the blue area here? The blue area here is what? Water or land?
Water.
Water. There are abundant of water. About 70% of earth covered with water. Earth water percentage. Google lah. About 71%. 71% of the surface of the earth cover with water. That's why it is very important lah, for us to understand what is the water cycle. Okay, and then the most abundant meaning the what we call the sources of water. The highest sources of water is from the ocean. From the ocean. You already learn about geography, right? You already learn about this the what we call the name of the sea of the world. You already learn? Sudah belajar geografi?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for example, you give me one example of the ocean. The what we call there are two. I think in geography you learn about two. One is lautan. Lautan is ocean. And then one is laut. Laut is what we call sea. Sea, S-E-E, ini adalah laut. O-C-E-O-N, ocean is lautan. You give me one example of ocean, the name. You still remember geography? Sudah belajar? Siapa ajar kamu geography? You give me one name of the ocean. Siapa tahu? Sudah lupa?
Cikgu bahasa Melayu boleh tak?
Boleh?
Lautan Pasifik.
Yes, very good. Pacific. Betul. Ada 7 lautan. Okay, you give me one name of the laut. Dekat Malaysia saja. Laut apa? Sea.
Laut
Laut
Cina
Cina
Selatan.
Selatan.
Baru saya mau cakap. Laut Cina Selatan. Okay, because that is the geography, right? So, itu nama laut lah. Never mind, itu nama laut. No problem. Okay. So this we want to what we call learn about the cycle of the ocean. Okay, right. So water from the ocean. Okay. The main sources of water is from the ocean. Okay, and then what happened to the water in the ocean? The water in the ocean will be evaporate, and then will become cloud. Okay, where the water in the ocean get the energy for the water to evaporate? Get energy from where? Where the energy come from in order for the water in the ocean to become gas?
Sun.
Yes, very good. This is sun here. Okay, sun, we have the energy from the sun, will hit the surface of the water of the ocean, and then the water will evaporate and then goes up to become what? To become water in the atmosphere, or we call it cloud. C-L-O-U-D. That's why in the afternoon or in the midday we can see the cloud over here. That's the formation of the water in the atmosphere. Okay, evaporation of water, and then And then what else? Maybe from the water from the lake, from the river also evaporate, go to the cloud. And then when the cloud is heavy with water, what will happen? What will happen? When there is the cloud is become heavier, okay? Because it will become rain. It will become rain, or maybe in the higher altitude, it will become ice and snow. What are the process? The gas back to become a liquid. What are the name of the process? One is evaporation, right? Evaporation from liquid to gas. And then condensation is the from what? Condensation. Condensation from gas to liquid. Is it true, class? True, betul,
Betul.
Okay, gas to liquid is condensation. So when there is a heavier cloud, the what we call the gas will turn into liquid by condensation. Then we will have water in ice, and then rain. And then rain will flow into the river, and then some of the water will discharge into the groundwater, and then some will go into river, into the lake, and then will become fresh water. Okay, fresh water. Yeah, water in the ocean is usually salty, and then fresh water is fresh lah, without any what we call salt, without any mineral. Okay, can you understand this? I think in geography also you already learn about this. Sudah belajar ini dalam geography juga. I just do some what we call a revision about this only. Boleh ya?
Boleh.
Okay, very good. Next one. I will go very fast because we are nearly finished. Okay, next one, the earth layer. I think this is the last one. Yes, this is the last one. The earth layer. Okay, if I look back at the notes over here, the earth layer is what system? Yeah, is it geo or bio?
Geo.
Okay, earth system. Okay, earth layer consists of what we call geosphere. Okay, geosphere. I just take another line over here, and then I put here lah. This is the what we call earth layer. Earth layer. Okay, what is earth layer? Okay, same things. You try to understand, and then try to memorize the name of the layer, starting from the inner core, outer core, and then mantle, crust, and what we call mantle. Mantle and crust can be divided into mesosphere, asthenosphere, and lithosphere. Again, maybe very hard for you to remember lah, but never mind. Okay, I need you to understand first before you try to memorize the name of the layer. So many layer, right, class? I know you are very, very pening kepala nanti. There are layer of the atmosphere, layer of the ocean, layer of what? A layer of the earth. Okay, there are many layers, but you need to understand this first. Yeah. Right. Okay, inner core, outer core, and then mantle and crust consists of mesosphere, asthenosphere, and lithosphere. Okay, that's all for earth layer. Can class, huh? Right. Okay, next one. Earth is the only home for living organism. Until right now, the earth only can contain the living organism. This is the biosphere. We can what we call combine all the system over here: atmosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and then atmosphere, and then we have biosphere. Biosphere meaning that all the living organism, by using the system, atmosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, we can live inside it. Okay, we as a living organism, not just human, but including animal, and then microorganism, human, animal, microorganism, we are living in this sphere. We call it Earth. Okay? Because we are depending from one another. We depend on the air in atmosphere. We also depend on the water, hydrosphere. We also depend on the soil, because soil will what we call the plant will grow through the soil, for example, and then we live on the soil. Okay, and then the soil will have minerals. There are many interconnection, interdependent between atmosphere, geosphere, and hydrosphere. And then we, as a biosphere, we depend on this, what we call system, in order for us to live in the Earth. Okay, class. So Earth is the only home for living organism. I do not know the other planet. We are still searching for the planet that has the same function as the Earth, but until now, there is no other planet. Maybe they found the planet, but the distance is very, 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 very far away. Maybe it takes about 100, maybe 1,000 or million of years for us to get there. But in the time being, the Earth is the only planet that can hold the organism, that has organism, okay, in our solar system. Mercury, Mars, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, there is no organism. Okay, so you can read for yourself lah. This one, Earth is the only home for living organism. Okay, do you have any question to ask before you stop here, class?
No.
Okay, very good. Right. So we continue our class tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we have class at, maybe I will start at 9 in the morning, like usual. We have online class. Or otherwise, if I have another plan, I will tell you earlier. Yeah. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask me. Any matter about the subject or any information you want to update about the school, about the class, you can ask me anytime. Okay, class. Can we end the class here? Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, if everything is okay, so you can leave the class now. Thank you for your listening and focus. We will see you all again tomorrow at 9 in the morning. Thank you very much. You can leave the class. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Thank you. Bye.